Hello everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Rishabh from the Things Industries. Welcome to this webinar. I think given a few couple of minutes before everyone joins in. Right. As we tune in, let me just do a brief intro. I'm Rish. I'm from the Things Industries. I handle sales and business development here at the Things Industries. Some of you might have seen me at the conference or might have exchanged emails. Here today we are here at this webinar, which is part of our customer showcase series, where we pick out our customers and highlight some of the work what they're doing. And before getting into the webinar, also a quick intro on what we do and who these customers are. So we are the Things Industries. Our main product is LoRaWAN network server. We offer it as a cloud solution, and we also offer it as an enterprise where you can run it on your own servers. So our customers typically include system integrators, solution providers, or large enterprise companies who basically build their own solution. They bring in their own devices, put up gateways, and then use our network server to route their LoRaWAN data to their endpoint. So this is how our customers use our product. And today we're going to be diving a bit into building management vertical, which is quite a popular use case in LoRaWAN, and more specifically diving into how ESG and building management are, what sort of use cases are being implemented. And we have here Xavier from Rhino Energy. And I'm going to pass it over to Xavier, who's going to talk about what they're doing. And I'm also quite keen to learn about some of the new things and also learn a bit about building management and ESG. So over to you, Xavier.
All right. Thank you, Rish. So I'm Xander. I'm from Rhino. I'm gonna try and share my screen here. One sec. I just had it figured out a minute ago. Oh, here we go. I'm from Rhino. So we provide real-time utility data for commercial real estate. This obviously is a pretty relevant angle in the real estate market. Historically, we've been aggregating utilities, so gas, water, electricity, but also heat and cold sensor data. We've been doing that for a while already. Historically, we've seen a lot of demand from the, let's say, facility management and maintenance angle. But as time and years progress, we see it balance a little bit more towards the compliance and sustainability part of managing a portfolio of real estate. So if you're an investor into anything, you need to report on the carbon footprint of your portfolio. And if you're an investor in real estate, then the carbon footprint of your portfolio is the added sum of the consumption of gas, water, and electricity. Hence, the type of data that we deliver is quite vital. And I'm already jumping ahead a bit, but there are a few, figures, data points that I'd like to share. The market size and the problem that we're facing, right? So in Paris, we got the Paris Agreement, and according to the Paris Agreement, by 2030, we want to bring back the greenhouse gas emissions by 49%, and by 2050 it needs to be reduced by 95%. That's quite a large number, especially when you take into account that 40% of all emissions, carbon emissions globally, come from the built area. And if you look at urban areas like New York and Tokyo, that goes up to 80% and higher. So there's quite some ground to cover. We're still building as well. So we need to reduce by 49 and going up to 95%, but simultaneously between now and 2060, the number of square meters around the globe of built area will be doubled. So it goes in two directions, and it's still growing. So the problem is quite big. Now here in the left bottom corner, you see that real estate owners paid almost 20% less for offices with an energy label C in the Netherlands. Now that's a very specific asset class, offices, and it's a very specific region, the Netherlands, which is quite a tiny country. But you see similar market trends happening in other regions and in other asset classes as well. So the fact that if a building is not sustainable or is not able to provide sustainability data, the value of the real estate actually drops. So that's a new one, right? It's not only the place, the location, and the number of square meters in a trend that count when a transaction is being prepared within the real estate industry, but the sustainability data actually counts up to the value of the real estate. So another reason why it's quite vital, right? And here on the right, bottom right, you can see that it actually happens as well. The number of sustainability legal claims has more than doubled between 2017 and 2022. And this is pre-CSDR, right? The regulations that demand for sustainability reporting pre-CSDR era. So in the coming year, the number is expected to be even higher, the rate. So there's a lot to cover, and that's what we do. So Rhino provides hardware and software to aggregate utility data, so for insight in real time. So if you're a real estate owner, you need this data. You don't only need it on a building level, you actually need it on a portfolio level. You can imagine the let's say mix of legacy systems is huge, right? And based on the data that I just shared in the previous slide, asset managers globally already expect that there will be an increase in their ESG-related assets under management. So those buildings that have at least some form of sustainability goals and data goals in running their ESG goals. So this market of ESG-related assets under management is expected to grow in the coming years with almost 13%. Now, simultaneously on the right side, you see the same happening with sustainability and energy management software. So the market that we are in is also expected to grow with more than 12% year over year. So these are two huge growing markets, and we're right in the middle because we aggregate the data for the real estate managers. And we provide the data through our API for any system, whether that's the system to actually facilitate and operate the building itself or aggregate those sustainability reports. So those are I guess, the two main problems that Rhino solves by aggregating this data, right? On the one hand, you got your cost reduction and facility management on a building level or a regional level. And on the other hand, on a portfolio level, you got your compliance and regulations. And that's what we do. So we automatically collect the data, all consumption data and production data as well, by the way, centralized, normalized, and then sent. We provide automated reporting, alarms and notifications for instance, leak detection, for all utilities, electricity, water, gas. It's in real time. It's main meters as well as sub-metering. So in multi-tenant buildings, we can even help with the billing, no matter the asset class, the building age, or the geographical location. And that puts us sort of in a special corner. A lot of other solution providers are very strong in a specific asset class, for instance, logistics, warehouses, or in a region, hardware manufacturers that are very strongly well represented within one country. But we try to be as agnostic as we can, and all asset classes, all building ages, and all geographical locations. And we provide that in our own dashboard as well as in our API. So you can feed your ESG dashboards or your building management software systems or your tenant experience platforms. But I guess within the realm of ESG, the E is the most dynamic, and having real-time data is vital. And we do not do the whole E. There's waste management as well, but the added sum of electricity, water, and gas consumption is, let's say, the biggest piece of that puzzle. Yeah, that's my quick intro in what we do. Rishabh, I'm open for your questions.
Great. No, thanks for walking us through this. I mean, it's this is quite an interesting topic, and I think years after years we've also seen that this particular segment gets a lot of attention within our LoRaWAN ecosystem as well. So I'm wondering, and before we go further into this, if anyone tuning in has any questions, or would like to know more, or please feel free to post them in the chat. So I'm wondering, what sort of challenges do you, as a company who is offering monitoring solutions, what are like the challenges that you face?
The main challenge that I'm gonna answer the question as well, but first I'm gonna answer one of the main questions that our buyer faces is that it's a building, when you are developing a building or when you're preparing the acquisition of a new building within your portfolio, you're gonna make an investment that needs to last at least 50 or 100 years, right? We built to keep it, the building. And back in the days, that was enough, right? You got your location, you got your square meters, and you got your materials, and those were the choices that you had to make. But now, in these days, that data part is quite vital as well. Now they need to choose from solution providers like ourselves. And everybody knows these solutions they're not older than a few years, right? We're 8 years, and that's we're like a dinosaur within the startup world, within the IoT world. In 5 years from now, 80% of whatever's out there won't be existing anymore. So that's the challenge that our customers face, and that's one of the challenges that we want to help and try to fix that for them. But nobody can promise, hey, we'll be there in 10 years from now, because you're either filled or you're acquired, and whatever happens after. So the answer to the question here is, you need to build a modular framework, right? If something collapses, if one piece of that puzzle gets taken out, it needs to be a piece of the puzzle that you can replace, and not a house of cards that just breaks down. And that's our challenge. We need to be able to convince our audience that we are an open system, right? We connect and we work with a list of over 200 manufacturers in the world, and that list is growing. And that's on the back end, and then on the front end, we want to be as easily integratable as possible, because you want to be hooked within your customer. But if you're providing a closed system, there's no way that they can build our internal business case, and I guess that's one of our challenges to help our customers with that question.
Yeah, no, I think this. I also keep hearing the part where a lot of open systems, and I think this is, it's a recurring theme that you also keep hearing. Now that's a lot of our, viewers, and also people like in our circle. There, a lot of them are device manufacturers who make different types of devices. Some just LoRaWAN devices, some also make other type of devices. So what would be your how do you see the device maker landscape? Is this something already past the hype, or is there still some room for innovation in this, or what's your take on this hardware or like device maker ecosystem?
There's always room for innovation, right? There's always a need for a new protocol, or there's always an ask for more, I guess, velocity in development. As soon as a generally accepted manufacturer or protocol or way of working even um, um, gets slowed down by the huge market coverage it already has, then at some point there's a need for innovation. So you always need to be ahead of the curve and make sure that whatever new solutions and new ideas get out there, that you again are able to integrate with, right? If you build a wall within around what you already have, whether that's a manufacturer or a protocol, doesn't matter, then at some point you'll just get stuck, and the new kid on the block will build something new.
Yeah, yeah, I know indeed. Nice. I'm wondering now, like, if you're able to maybe talk a bit about some of yeah, your customers, or like what type of buildings, or what type of, let's say, your customers do you work with, and yeah, maybe if you can touch a bit on that.
So historically, we've started rolling our systems out within the logistics space, warehousing. I'm pretty sure still in Eastern Europe, Rhino is considered the industry standard for data aggregate utility data aggregation, and we've developed ourselves from being very deep into the building, right? Including the sub metering, including alarms and notifications, so that not only the landlord but also the tenants and the facility managers can use the platform. So on each level within this building, there's a stakeholder, right? Whether you're the owner slash investor or the property manager, or you're just a user, the tenant of the building. That's where we came from. And from at some point you recognize, hey, this system works in other asset classes as well. And then we grew out of the logistics space, where we're still pretty active in, but since a couple of years we've captured quite a market within the residential space. So not the B2C type of not the households buildings, it's still a B2B solution. But of course, the investors within real estate, they've got big residential portfolios as well, apartment complexes, student housing, multifamily. And the interesting thing, the within residential space, is that each front door is its own main meter, right? Instead of having a lot of sub metering, and they both have their own, let's say, characteristics. It's not better or worse, but they have their own characteristics. And our system is quite a modular and agnostic system, so we can adapt to that as well. So now we're in Western Europe, we're quite big in residential space. We do customers like Patricia and Xior, Greystar, Holland to Stay, um, and retail. For retail, we do big big shopping malls. All of their retail, all those retail brands are the tenants of the owner of the shopping mall. So each tenant gets their utility bills automatically generated based on actual consumption and other square meters, like back in the old days, right? When energy didn't cost any too much, nobody really gave it too much thought. But we see a clear trend in balance, that tenants stop paying their rent, including utilities, but excluding utilities, and then based on actual consumption, get their and you need that data again, right? It all starts with the data, whether you're building your CSDR report, your ESG, or your billing for your tenants.
Yeah.
You need to start measuring.
Yeah, I think like also like in the last, let's say, maybe perhaps after the COVID, I think things have also changed in a way. And now with the higher energy prices in the
Yeah.
last couple of years, I think people on tenant have also been a little bit more aware of, yeah, all these trends. And then if you're able to provide these yeah, solutions, and the names that you mentioned, these are, I mean, big names in this space. So the fact that they are using these solutions is a testament that there is a lot of business value, and it's not at the POC level, or it's not really, in the early stage. These are matured deployments where.
Exactly. And their customer, their tenants, not within the residential space, but in the office space, in the logistics space, in the retail space, you see that the tenants in a lot of cases are also publicly listed or have a specific turnover that they also need to report. So we've got office space customers, the landlord of the office buildings, shared office spaces. Their tenants, they are publicly listed and they need their data for their ESG reporting.
Yeah.
And that happens within the logistics space as well, right? Prologis is a big customer of ours.
Yeah.
Their customers, their tenants, in most cases, they are publicly listed as well, and they need the data. So again, in each stage of the vertical of the real estate, there's a stakeholder that in some form or factor needs this type of data.
Yeah. Talking about like these big names, and as always, I think working with big names, you need to make sure that your system is scalable and it's flexible, and a lot of emphasis is on security. So I'm wondering if, just taking like a bit of a higher level in this space, commercial real estate and building management with IoT, LoRaWAN, what sort of things can people already take with regards to security?
Oh, that's a very technical question. I'm not the most technical person within the company to ask this, but in essence, it's vital to have a well thought of security layer over your data, right? It's personal and it's private data. If you're a landlord and you generate this data because you need this for your ESG reporting, but then again, your tenants. Why should the tenant share this data with you? Because this is why should the landlord know when you turn on your washing machine or turn off your lights? This is data that falls under GDPR law. So yeah, having a robust security system in place is vital. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I have a couple of more questions on. I'm curious about them, but yeah, if anyone has, feel free to post them. So you mentioned now there's a fair bit of success now in the Eastern European countries, and now you're slowly expanding into Western Europe. And are there plans now of expanding, let's say, outside Europe, or what lies ahead now for?
Yeah, I guess 2023 was all in light of regional expansion within Europe, and from 2 years ago being active in 2 or 3 countries, now having buildings connected in each European country in Western Europe. We made quite a step. So for 2024, the goal is, I guess, more growth within our currently existing markets. But yeah, we are now processing UL and FCC certifications for the US as well. So somewhere in Q3 or 4, I'm expecting our first projects in the US as well. Yeah.
Nice. Now, exciting times.
Yeah.
Nice. Anything else that you would like to, I think, leave our audience with? Maybe how they can contact you, and I don't know if you or anyone from your team would be coming to the Things conference, but I was wondering how they can get in touch with you.
I'll definitely be there. I was there last year as well. Actually, I participated in the ESG panel on the, I don't know if it was the main stage, but it was a stage. Yeah, I'm always there. So hit me up over LinkedIn or go to our website, and rhino.energy, and I'm available to chat.
Great. Well, thanks, Xander, for this very insightful webinar. I think I definitely learned a thing or two. This is part of our customer showcase series. So I hope everyone had a good time and found this webinar useful. We'll be continuing more of this. So make sure you subscribe to our channels and are up to date. And yeah, the Things conference is coming up as well. So I think you can see the link somewhere in the chat. Where Rhino Energy will be there. I can take this as a confirmation. But yeah, a lot of interesting customers, device makers, and our partners are going to be there. So make sure that yeah, you have it in your calendar. And yeah, that's it here. Enjoy your afternoon, and we'll be back next time.
Thank you,
Bye.
Rish.